a demo and some of the email notifications to expect from our system that once again, you'll start seeing in your inbox probably shortly after this call, maybe within the next few days. And then there's a question and answer throughout, as well as we'll carve out time at the end to cover up anything. Those questions can be meant for from a technical side, Trak, or from the activation team that's on the call from the Broncos team. So with that, Brooke, I'll pass it over to you. And then Chip, if you want to take it from there and then pass it back to me.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited to show you our new partnership management platform. As a reminder, this is a replacement for Smartsheet. So we're really excited about it. We think it's going to really keep us all on the same page and aligned going into what is bound to be hopefully our most unique season and then 4 seasons to come. But this is really just meant to be a high-level introduction, a quick peek into what this platform will do for us and help with to keep us organized. So don't hesitate to ask questions, but as you get into the platform yourself, don't hesitate to lean on your activation rep at that point as well. So we're excited for you to see it. So I will kick it over to Trak to get going.
Thanks, Brooke. Hey team, this is Charles or Chip Reynolds with Trak. Been involved for about 5 years as a co-founder with Cameron. Super excited to meet you all. Perfect time to go digital together. We hope you guys find a lot of value in this. Everyone's life could use a little simplification now. So we're excited to help push your partnership objectives and take things to the next level together.
Awesome. Thanks, Chip. So I'll scoot forward here. The goal of Trak is to provide you collaboration and visibility throughout the life of the partnership. So you always have access to the information exactly when you need it. And so collaboration and visibility is kind of the key here, right? This is a platform that's going to allow you to collaborate, capture notes, comments, exchange those 150 different file types that we all work on with their massive file sizes, and flat out just visibility, right? And so this will be that communication channel truly. And we heard it best from a New Orleans Pelicans client who said, this is a homepage for your partnership. That's what we want you to look, feel, and see with what we covered today. And so what does that actually mean? So for partnership clients, I kind of mentioned this at the very beginning, but just know that there's about 2,500 users in our system that are exactly in your same position, that work with a single, maybe 2 or 3 partnerships with an individual property. And what we want to do within that is give you a comprehensive view of the entire activation timeline, even with the flexibility that's probably going to be required within this unique season coming up. Data-driven activation decisions, right? And so hopefully we can get to a point where we receive information about specific assets quickly after they happen. So that way we can make adjustments for the future. Real-time collaboration, as we talked about. So think about that being the comment threads or the notes that are associated. And instead of being in disparate email or spreadsheets or smart sheets, but combined into one spot. 4th bullet point there, probably the most useful thing you'll find is one place to upload and exchange media. And so whether it's the approved print ad that you're trying to deliver to Brooke and team, or Brooke and team has the proof of performance attachment that they want to deliver back to you. All those things live and are threaded in one single location. Up to 300 megabytes, massive file size, 30x times your email inbox, as well as we manage zip folders. So anything that just needs to be compressed and sent over. The idea along the way is there's a workflow that you can track progress, receive real-time feedback, whether it is an attachment or a comment. And at the end of the day, it really is validate that partnership internally whenever you want, right? And so the idea is that we know exactly what's going on with our Broncos partnership at any point in time without having to ring up or do a sync meeting with Brooke or your activation manager. So as I move forward, one of the things I always want to point out is that you'll start receiving contextual email notifications. And so the first one over here on the left with the Broncos logo on it is your Activate account. And so once again, shortly after this meeting or within the next few days, once your partnership details are ready, you receive an email, fairly simple, from, which is key, don't reply at broncos.trak.io. Click on the button, set up your password, and that's as complex as it gets. From that point forward, I'll show you how to adjust your email notifications, but you'll start receiving anything changes or uploads or comments are made it'll actually just populate an email in which there's buttons and updates and attachments that'll come right along with it, right? So that way you can make the decision if the partnership needs attention or something from you. If Brooke needs it, click on the button, log back in and deliver the information, media, attachment, collaboration, whatever those notes are. So let's hop into and see what that looks like. So same browser here. I'm gonna go over to the broncos.trak.io. So once you get the activation email, the URL that you're going to access is broncos.trak.io. Highly recommend Command or Control D, bookmark that in your browser to remember. One of the things that's key is it is a secure site license. And so it is a protected website. What that means is it is encrypted data from your browser to our server. And so that'll pass through most of your corporate firewalls if you have any in place. Once you set up your email address, whatever's been adjusted and sent to you will be right there, and then the password you set up. And click login. Now the first view that you get is the entire activation timeline. And this should look similar to your asset by asset breakdown with the Broncos. Before I hop into those details, I want to show you up in the profile in the top right, I want to show you how you can upload a picture, which visually makes it a little bit easier to understand the activities in here. I know your Broncos team has done a lot of that. And then let's talk about the email notifications first, and then we'll dive into the details of it. First off, you're going to get reminded about partnership assets that are not complete yet. And you can select how early you want to be reminded, 7, 14, or 30. You'll also receive a weekly report. Monday morning, generally speaking, between 8 or 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, you get a nice snapshot of your partnership, what happened in last week, and what's coming up next week, and then what's the current progress or health. And then, as I kind of mentioned, if anything happens on either side of this partnership, whether Brooke and team go in and make some changes, or you go in and make the changes, or your agency can be involved in this process, you'll be notified of those changes, right? Uploads, comments, spec changes, which may or may not happen, as well as due date changes, depending on some of the announcements that come out with our seasons. As you scroll back out of your profile, you're then going to go into, you have 2 pages available to you. Okay, so the first page is going to be that asset by asset breakdown, or what we call tasks. The other page is a partnership overview page. And this is going to be the pieces of information, whether it's notes, partnership performance details. Right now, as you can see, yours is going to be empty when you log in. But this is going to be those things that maybe aren't asset specific, but are communicated to you from a partnership group. So your activation person will be in charge of and show you when this page has been populated. As I go back to the tasks page, this is really going to be sports reference, the play-by-play. And so as I click on each of these from a table view, you're going to see the detail view pop out here from the right-hand side. And what the Broncos have done is, for this Broncos magazine full-page yearbook, you can first see the status, the due date, if somebody is specifically assigned. Now, this can be your Broncos teammate that you work with in here, or it can be any of the organizations, multiple people in your organization in here. And as you go to the right-hand side, you'll see this linear process in which we're going to grab some added value or impacted in preparation for our 2020 season. Links over to the Broncos partnership page, which you're probably already familiar with, that includes all of the specs and deadlines for all of the assets that the Broncos have available. You see that linked right here, specifically down to the magazine page. You'll see exactly the details within the description box. And then right here below, I just want to point out the 2 areas that you'll obviously work with a lot. The first one are files, right? So as I want to deliver the full page print ad over to Brooke or activation person, or comment, I can do it right within here. And what I'm understanding is if I need to communicate something to them, if I make the comment in here, I'm going to rely on those email notifications going back and forth. And so it's as simple as choose file here. And I know you can't see exactly what I'm looking at, but click open, click upload. And as that uploads, you'll finally see the attachments. And once again, just remember 300 megabytes the file size limit. So this can capture very, very large files, as well as zip folders of even it's above 300 megabytes. And so as you go down here, this can be your specs and deadlines for the start of the year. When is it due? As you begin to allocate resources and go through that. Files, comments. The other thing you can do is you can filter up here at the top. Once again, you'll probably see multi-seasons next season. If you want to just only view the things that are left to be incomplete, right? Hopefully by the end of the season, a lot of these are complete, so you may want to filter out those ones that are quote unquote done for now, or flat out search. Now, one of the important things that we do on the client side of this is if I still need it in rows and columns, I can do it right here with this little grid. This will download a CSV or an Excel file right to my computer, all of the information, all of the specs that I can then share with somebody else in my organization. All right, and then on the left-hand side, need to change your password, need to adjust your notifications, which I showed you right in your profile, and then we do have a help section. And so this high-level overview video, as you click on Need Help, is kind of a condensed 6-minute version of this webinar that can help you understand the buttons to click and where that information is at. And the one thing we want to make sure are available to you, and this is my last and final one, is this big orange button here in the bottom right. This is a direct message to Trak. And so we know the Broncos team is going to be your subject matter expert on your partnership with the Broncos, obviously. But if something weird is going on in Trak, something's not working, upload's not happening, some of that technical help that sometimes can happen in web applications. This is Mark, our customer support rep, as well as our customer success director. Just send us a quick message, and we're happy to help you from a tech support standpoint. So as a recap, partnerships are ready to go. Once again, the first thing you'll receive after this call is that Activate account. You'll set up your password, and then it's available 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, where you can go in here and manage your Broncos partnership. Once again, just as a reminder, our end goal as a software provider is for you to maximize your partnership with the Broncos and for the Broncos to help you maximize it as well. And so however we can help you do that, please let us know. Your Broncos team, just as an FYI, has had a lot of training on this leading up to this, so they're also really good at the system. And we're excited for you to do that. So with that, I will pause and gather, once again, volunteering the Broncos as well is a Q&A section about anything. Partnership last year, how we managed it, Trak platform from a technical perspective.
I have a quick question. If we have two people working on the same, right, if we have multiple people, I guess, working on this, should we keep one username and password, or can we have separate usernames and passwords and still be able to see the same thing, the same tasks, I guess, at hand?
Yeah, great question. Technical perspective, Broncos can answer this too. You can have multiple people on here that are going to see similar information, same notifications. Now, there may be one responsible for day-to-day and the other is just kind of monitoring what's going on, which I kind of overheard your first conversation, Brian, about passing the torch there a little bit. You both can be on here in the same system, looking at the same information. No need to share passwords or anything. And your Broncos teammate, your Broncos activation person, can add anybody else with an email address, whether it's an agency or your brand partners. Good question. Anything else for myself or the Broncos team?
Great system, very, very intuitive. It's not, I don't think it's going to be that hard to, yeah, I think it's very it's easy to figure out and easy to work with. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're happy to partner with the Broncos. And like I said, at the end of this, I tell the Broncos team all the time that if a client, maybe not verbally, and thank you, Brian, for verbalizing it, goes, oh, that's it? That's a really good thing, right? The complexity happens after when the work actually starts, but from a platform perspective, hopefully that's what you feel as well, is simple, easy to understand, and like I said, hopefully reduces the amount of time and lets you know maximize the partnership assets. So thanks, Brian, for that. And we'll wrap up. Pause one last time here. And thank you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Good, baby.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. Go Broncos. We'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.